We have two water plants. One is located on Glenville Lake off of Filter Plant Drive, and they get our water from Glenville Lake. And we have the Hoffer plant, which is off of Ramsey Street, and that water comes from the Cape Fear River. Our plants use what's known as conventional water treatment. We take the water out of the river, we bring it into the plant, we coagulate any suspended material that might be in the water. The water's then settles. At that point, we use powdered activated carbon to prevent any kind of taste and odor problems. The water is then filtered through a sand and anthracite filter. At that point, we adjust the pH and alkalinity levels to make sure there's no corrosion once the water gets into the distribution system. Then we disinfect that water and send it out into the distribution system. We also add fluoride to protect public health by preventing tooth decay, which is a standard practice for most all utilities in the United States. PWC runs about 118,000 tests a year on our water. We test for things, some of the more common things would be pH, chlorine, fluoride, turbidity, color. Those are the kind of things we test on a regular basis. We also test for inorganics, which are things like cadmium, chromium, copper, nickel, lead, zinc. We test for organic substances, which are more the man-made type chemical compounds like dioxane or some of your petroleum, hydrocarbon type compounds. We test for disinfection byproducts. We do a lot of bacteriological testing out in the system. So we have folks out in the system collecting water samples from over 100 sample sites in our distribution system on a regular basis. So testing our drinking water is important because it's a way of verifying that the plants and the processes that we have in place are working to protect public health and to make sure that our water is in compliance with all state and federal regulations. So I know there's been a lot of talk in the news lately about Gen X, but that facility discharges downstream from our intake, so it's not in our water, and the state has done a lot of testing that's verified it's not found upstream of that facility, and it's not in our drinking water. We've all heard in the news also a little bit about 1,4-dioxane, and I would just say, up front, it's an issue that needs to be addressed, and it needs addressing sooner rather than later. And we've been working with the state regulators to find a solution to get that removed from our source water. The thing we need to remember about dioxane, first of all, is that it's a long-term exposure risk. It's not a short-term risk. The human health criteria that's been published by EPA is based on an individual drinking 2 liters of water a day for 70 years. And at the levels we're seeing in our water, that comes out to a less than 1 in 100,000 chance of developing any kind of health risk over a lifetime of exposure. I think the other thing that's important is that we sort of put that in perspective. If you ride or drive in a vehicle, your lifetime odds of being killed in a motor vehicle crash are about 1 in 600. And then you've got to consider too, it's a lifetime exposure, and we don't anticipate this being in our water anywhere near that long. We expect a solution, in the next couple years. And I'm proud to be employed at PWC, and I'm proud of the work we do to protect our water and to provide safe, clean water to our customers. And here again, I drink the water every day, and I feel very safe and confident that the product we provide is a good quality product.